Hey, welcome to the review about Lookout Cay with Disney. We just got done this trip. We took a trip in end of June with Disney Magic. I think we were the first couple of cruises that actually hit the island, so the island is very, very new. I am Scott with Scott Reviews. I do camera reviews, speaker reviews, and sometimes I do other stuff. This would fall into the other stuff, but
I like the camera on my helmet. Nerd.
we're gonna make it also about cameras because I'm gonna show you which camera that I'm using when I make this video. So the three cameras that I did use was the Insta360 Go3S, DJI Action 4, and then the Pocket 3. So I'll show you which ones those are as I am doing the video, just if you're curious about cameras and which ones that you may want to use on your trip to Disney or wherever you're going. This bridge that I'm walking across now is one of the issues that people were not too happy about. It is a half-mile long bridge. It takes about a 15-minute walk. It's the only way you can get to the island unless you have a disability or special assistance needed. But it seems, I bet, if you were concierge or something like that, they will be shuttling you back and forth, because I noticed a lot of different golf carts going back and forth when we went through. And I think there were some of the concierge folks that were getting rides across the bridge or the pier to get to the other side. I didn't mind it at all because it was a gorgeous day and it's a nice shot you can get as you walk to get the boat in the background. So if you can walk, absolutely do it. They do offer some of the red wagons, so if you have kids and they want to ride in a wagon, you can grab one of those and then you can drop that off at the other end when you load on the shuttle on the other side. So just to let you know, I'm not trying to be negative toward Disney. I have been on a number of cruises. My wife loves the cruises, but we're on DVC. I used to work at Disney, so I have a lot of experience around Disney. There are some videos you watch and they will be positive about absolutely everything. This is a beautiful island. It is a beautiful beach, all that kind of stuff. I just want to talk about a couple of things that I thought weren't really kind of like Disney-esque or Disney-like.
Mabrika, my friends. A very pleasant good day to you all. Welcome to Disney Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. My name is Tracy, and I will be your host for our short run.
So the cabanas are right near the boat. You don't even have to go back into the beach area of the island. You can just go from the shuttle, which I'm sure they'll take you on the shuttle if you're staying at the cabana, right to your cabana. And I'm hearing that there's like iPads with menus, so you get all your food. But the problem is, if you have kids and they want to go do all the fun stuff on the main part, you have to get in that shuttle and be away from your cabana for a long period of time. So it's going to be a fight between the adults and the kids. And the adults who paid all that money for that cabana want to stay there, and the kids that want to go to the island.
And their other island friends getting ready for Junkanoo.
Yay! Junkanoo! It's our biggest celebration of the year. The parades and music and dancing. And it's a fun word to say. Junkanoo! Junkanoo!
So here we go, walking to the store, and the main thing when you get there, I suggest that you don't wait around and buy merchandise on the way out. I would, if you know you want to get things, definitely get them at the beginning, because right now it's a new place, it's a hot commodity, and people want certain things, certain sizes. So I would get your apparel at the beginning. Alright, we spent way too much money there. By the way, there's no DVC discount. Didn't know that until after we bought it. So that was expensive.
found it.
Rush out, gush out. This is it here. Unfortunately, it was broken when we were there. Something was wrong with the piping or the pumps, but the entire day was shut down. Now, it didn't really affect my family because my kids are older, so they wouldn't have gone out there anyway. But if my kids were younger, I would be pretty upset that we paid all this money and now this main feature out there is unfortunately not working. It's like a pavilion where they could do a stage and have a band. Bow and ribbon.
I think it's a drink.
Bow and what? All right, so snorkeling. Let's talk about snorkeling. So here I am talking to the lifeguard to kind of get a gauge on what the buoys are.
What does the white buoy indicate versus the red?
The white buoy is where you can swim out to and don't go past. If you go past the white buoy, they'll start yelling at you to come back in. But the red buoy is just for them to have a gauge about marine life. So I don't know this for sure. If you know, down below, tell me. But maybe the red buoys is indicating where they have maybe nets in the water to prevent some of the larger mammals from reaching the shore. That you can't swim or snorkel past the white buoys, which is not far at all offshore. So it's a long beach with a lot of opportunity to go the long distance this way, but that there's a strong lateral current moving from that direction to here. So you can almost just float along the whole beach if you start down at the other end and come down this way. I guess that depends on the year and all that kind of stuff too, but that's what we're getting today. And it is June, on the end of June. I would say bring your own goggles and you'll be good. There's no need for all of this stuff. Or bring your own stuff. $38. It is different than Castaway Key completely. It is more like a regular standard beach that has some coral that you can snorkel around. Do you need to have mask fins and snorkel? It really depends on you and your comfort level in the water and how much you want to get around. And if you want to go from longer distances to get where you need to get to see different certain things, and fins are important. I think goggles will be fine for this kind of viewing. I saw a stingray, which is probably not allowed to be out there, but it was pretty close to the shore, so that was cool to see. And then there was some coral, but there was no a lot of colorful coral or colorful fish. I saw a lot of the white fish and maybe some bluefish every once in a while. And it's really different than Castaway Key, which is more about swimming out and seeing the different things they put in the water, like Mickey and a boat and stuff like that. So it's cool to go see those kind of things out in the water over at Castaway Key. And Lookout Cay is more like your standard traditional snorkeling on the beach. One of the things I also want to talk about is if you're not used to finning, the fins that they provide are kind of stiff for beginners, so you could cramp up. They're not really the flimsy ones. They got a little more torque to them. So I like them, but just to let you know. barbecue, kids area, another bar over there so the parents can soak their sorrows. The kids are playing finally. All right, let's talk about lunch. This is probably the most controversial subject. Now, there's 2 lunch locations. They're both exactly the same. They're pretty big. They have tables and chairs and places to get out of the sun because there's a lot of sun on this part of the island. The food looks delicious, I can tell you that. This burgers and the barbecue and the jambalaya, it all looks great. The problem is the flies. Now, they're trying to find a way to get around this. They have the little fans on the tables, but if you don't like a fly touching your food, then you're probably not going to eat lunch because they're having a big problem with them. I don't know if it's seasonal or whatever, or time of the year they're worse than others, but the flies, they congregate around the buffet, so when you're up there, they're trying their best to keep the flies away, but they're all over the place. And just pretend they're Disney flies and there's no poop coming out of them when they land. Yep. And then when you go back to your tables and chairs, they know you're there and they will be out there. So they are putting some fans up, some big fans underneath the seating area to kind of blow. So if you can get a table and chairs right next to the fan, that is money. That's where you want to be. There's a special parade called Junkanoo Celebration where they do a small parade which leads into the open auditorium area where there are special arts and crafts you can do prior, but the parade leads that direction. It's got Mickey and Minnie, Donald and Daisy, and then local Bohemians where they're dancing and celebrating that kind of thing. It's more of their culture and their heritage kind of shines out. So Lookout Cay is a 700-acre parcel of land. It's so large, when you take the drive, you see all this land. And when you see this much land they're cutting through and making a road, you wonder in the back of your head, is this going to become some type of resort for Disney down the road where you can stay overnight here, not just use it as a place to come with the cruise boats? Don't think so, but when you look at it, you wonder, there's just so much land here, what's going to be built on it? Alright guys, to wrap this up, the question my wife and kids asked me is which one do I like better? Lookout Cay or Castaway Key? And after thinking about it for a while, if I had to choose, I would go with Castaway Key. I just feel like it's more private, more like Disney, where everything around there is controlled by Disney. I think being so close or closer to the boat, so if I had to go back and get something off the boat, or my kid wanted to go back and take a quick nap or go back to the boat for a minute, it's a quicker trip to get back to the boat versus if you're on the beach at Lookout Cay and somebody wants to go back to the boat, you're pretty much not coming back. By the time you take the shuttle, take the long walk over the pier, you're going to be, okay, we're done at this point. I also fear there's more activities to do on Castaway Key right now. The water slide, the ropes course, the things you can see while you snorkel. You can go out for a long snorkeling adventure and go around and see that all the different things are in the water. It kind of gives you something to go do. So if you're with your kids and family, it's like an adventure starting point to go out, see the boat, see Mickey, and then kind of make a big loop around to kind of finish out. So it kind of gives you like an adventure to go out on versus just swimming up and down the beach and looking at some fish and some coral that's out there. But that's really relative on what you like versus what I like. Anyway, that's it. Like, subscribe down below. Leave your comments up down below if you've been here and what you thought of the whole adventure. So if you've been to both, let me know which one you like better.